welcome to GWT TV. We have an episode for all of our viewers today, something called a Fireside chat that we normally do with our CEO and founder. Today we have the pleasure of having Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou, the founder, the visionary, the CEO of Global Wealth Trade in studio with us today. And today we're going to take you through a topic that's very dear to us, which is called Trendsetters, Ramin. And you know, this has been an exciting program that we're going to be putting for all of our viewers where we're going to be giving new updates, new videos, new recordings, and just updating our LCs about, you know, what we're doing at Global Wealth Trade and sort of what goes into creating, developing the company, the brand, the designs, and everything really that we do on a daily basis. So what is the topic of choice for this afternoon?
Trendsetters, I guess it's because people often ask me sometimes, how do you start a company from your home office and goes from inception to be a benchmark in so many different areas, and the level that we operate at, and that's not an easy area to operate. And that's because, again, my philosophy is, as you know, if it exists, make it better. If it doesn't exist, create it. And there's many things we've done that the world's never seen. And so today I want to quickly talk about some of the stuff that we do that the world's never seen. So our luxury consultants from around the world, at least they know that. As well as, it's a point of pride for us, because the reason why we hit 3, 4, 5 in the morning is because it's not because we want to do something someone else has done. We're here because we're doing things that no one else has done. The very first thing I want to talk about is that, something's now been done 6,000 years, which is a 21 karat gold composition. And, the FERI Marsh. So if you haven't seen the movie Modern Legend, the FERI Marsh story, you definitely want to go on YouTube channel, Global Wealth Trade Corporation, and see that multiple award-winning documentary. But the 21 karat compositions and 6,000 years of jewelry making, no one's ever done it. And in 2008, we finally figured out how to do it.
Yes, of course, Ramin. I remember those days of blowing up a lot of gold and collapsing a lot of gold.
$3 million in gold blowing up.
Right? And we kept on developing and creating. And once we got to the final phase and we thought we had succeeded, well, we'd come to set a stone and there goes the collapse of the piece and the mold. So we've definitely come a long way since 2008 when it was the sort of inception phase of the FERI Marsh brand.
And also having this vast experience in jewelry making over 100 years, that means we also have a lot of experience in plating technology, which is the number one problem with all jewelry makers, because especially for fashion jewelry and silver jewelry, obviously palladium, rhodium, very, very expensive. Other companies use, even the ones who actually use rhodium, you might not know this, they use synthetic rhodium. They don't use natural rhodium because natural rhodium could be more expensive than even gold. But we have a special German technology that we've done over the years.
Absolutely. Well, like you said, using imitation rhodium is not a big deal because that's what a lot of companies are using. With us, whether it's our, sterling silver line or our fashion jewelry line of FERI or Posh, we're using a natural rhodium, of course, on our silver pieces. The plating technology comes from Germany. Ramin, as you know, every single time that our goods are delivered, I'm getting all the reports. And I remember we used to have a gal that was German here that used to work with us, and she used to actually read all the reports out to me in German because they were translated. But that's the beauty of our product line, is whether it's the metals that we use, whether it's the plates that we use the best of the best of the best. And like you said, if it exists, we make it better. If it doesn't exist, then we create it. We're doing, of course, natural rhodium plating. We have pieces that also have gold plating on them, Ramin. And the gold plating that we're using, of course, is a 22 karat gold plating that we're using. So it's $950.
It's real gold plating. 22 karat real gold plating.
Of course. So it's $950 sterling silver. It's rhodium plated. It's got the palladium. It's swan cut stones. It's got the gold plating. It's like quality over quality over quality.
So what palladium plating basically is that it's the highest level plating that we've been able to do, where we took palladium. And we took, already rhodium is more expensive than gold. We took palladium, another very expensive metal, and we come up with a composition that gives a very durable shine and lust. So again, another characteristic of the Trendsetter, where everyone else, even the biggest designers now, they don't even use plating anymore because they know it's going to change color and they get complaints. We keep on raising the bar and this is why FERI now, our sterling Selenium collection, is basically become the FERI Mosh of the sterling world.
Absolutely, and I'm so incredibly proud of it. And you know, Ramin, since the launch of our Selenium, we've added a lot of new designs. There's a lot of new designs coming, and it is done exceptionally well. It's just flying off the shelves, and we're extremely excited.
But this is the key part too, because anyone can come up with anything as long as it's not elaborate. Then I guess it can be done. I mean, there's nothing simple about FERI. FERI is all about extravagant. That's why it's the red carpet designer. So to have 2, 3, 4, 10,000 stones in some of these necklaces, absolutely, and have it in 950 purity, and and all each hand set. And another thing that we don't talk about, and we should, is that everything is hand set. And when something becomes soft, whether it's FERI Mosh or the Selenium, if it's not perfectly set under the microscope, it will fall. Not only we use the absolute best synthetic stones, recently we've taken even higher than that.
Yeah, I'm so incredibly excited with our new 950 Selenium collection. We have something called Swan Cut Stones. And, our LCs are asking us, what is that? Because they're so super excited. They can see the shine, they can see the brilliance, they can see the quality. And, it just resembles a diamond perfectly. It's the way that light enters and exits, the color quality of the different colors that we have. It is above all. So just to understand, there's of course lab-made stones. And there's crystals, there's cubic zirconia, basic cubic zirconia, there's AA, AAA cubic zirconia, which again, when we were doing
commercial grade, there's crystals, there's all kinds of different.
Absolutely. And what we've done is we've taken it, 100 notches above that. We're getting custom lab-made stones for our FERI blend. It's called Swan Cut Stones. And basically, it just perfectly resembles a diamond and a gemstone. And we've actually had gemologists mistake our lab-made stones for genuine pieces.
Again, much like FERI Mosh, where we use calibrated diamonds, which is specially designed and cut for FERI Mosh. Now we're doing the same thing for our Selenium collection, because again, the reason why we call it Swan is because it's specially cut now for FERI. So we decided, hey, just give it the name Swan Cut, because no one else has that. Again, characteristic of a trendsetter. While everyone's trying to cut costs, we keep on elevating our quality. The next one is, of course, again much like a 21K composition, but the first one to come with a 950 silver that has now 950 purity that has a gorgeous luster and is still strong enough to hold, because silver is actually even softer than gold. This is why 925 is standard around the world, even the biggest designers. 925 is the standard, but now because of the different compositions, because we're more into metallurgy, working with metals, so now we figure out a way for the 950 to be strong enough to hold all these small stones and really revved up about that.
So just to rewind a little bit for our LCs worldwide, we carry metals such as ceramic and tungsten, and of course those are great metals, very durable, longevity, have a much more resistance to scratch. And when we came up with, again, being trendsetters, when we came up with those metals, really nobody was using. There was only, I think, 1 or 2 designer brands out there that were really even using those metals in jewelry, because tungsten is very durable. It's actually used in construction for drill bits, and a very, very durable metal.
I think when we started, the only company that did ceramic was Chanel, and then we used ceramic, and then we had I think Rado did some tungsten
ceramic.
Tungsten and ceramic. It's Rado. So yeah, they're very, very difficult metals to work with. You don't get much flexibility, but that's all we did.
Absolutely.
We're not like other designers that use stainless steel. We actually use the best. The reason is that, again, it's got a high resistance to heat, it's scratch resistant. Like the watch would look just as good 50 years from now, just because we use those type of material.
Absolutely. And when we brought it to the market, no other brand had it really. It wasn't in the stores. Well, of course, over the past 6 years, it started to, get into the stores. And so we said, all right, well, FERI's going to be the trendsetter. We're going to kick it up a couple of notches. And we started to play around with our metals. And then at that point, we came up with the Plankston blend. And we launched a Plankston, which was...
And the reason why we did that is because, again, tungsten has an issue, although being very hard, that means it's also very brittle. So what other designs were having a lot of problems with, if you drop it, you hit it, it will chip. So we went way beyond, took a very expensive platinum metal, and we put a composition together with the tungsten, and it worked perfect. We got lucky there because the first time we hit out of the park, it was perfect. Where it was not, it was still had a gorgeous lust, yet it wasn't brittle anymore. It actually it was very durable. So that was one of the early victories that I was very proud of.
Absolutely. And we came up with, of course, the Plankton line. It was a huge success, combining tungsten with platinum and being able to create beautiful pieces for our gentleman collection, such as bracelets, cufflinks, chains, necklaces. I mean, we did tons of stuff for them. And since then, we've evolved again.
So every time somebody, because now there's more tungsten companies out there, although it's a different tungsten, because again, the composition matters. Just like gold is 10, 14, 18, and 21, tungsten metals have different grades. So our tungsten grade why it's so durable is because it's different than what you find in stores. Then went to Plankston, but both those collections are coming to an end because of the Stellite collection. And Stellite is really never been used. It's very expensive. It's only being used for medical purposes.
Yes, of course. It's actually used in a lot of medical surgeries that are done. And we started
parts for inside the body.
Absolutely. A lot of pieces actually for heart transplants are actually used with this metal because it is very, very pure. A lot of knee surgeries are using this metal as well for the braces that they have.
It won't cause infection.
That is correct. It's very pure in the metal. And so, of course, we had to be the trendsetters, and we were unique, and we actually created it into jewelry. And now we have a men's jewelry line that consists of our bracelets and our cufflinks, and it's always evolving, of course.
And Stellite's more durable than titanium, and yet it's this gorgeous loss. And you know what? The price, I mean, it's perfect. We have so many people that know using as a wedding bands.
Yes.
Because it's comfortable and you don't have to worry about banging it. You don't have to worry about taking it out. It lasts beautiful for forever. So that's become very popular there.
Absolutely. And again, this is the big benefit of our product line.
Now, as far as, but that doesn't just stop in jewelry because, we can talk a lot about our timepieces and so forth, but I like to talk about leather goods because we put a special lining now. Pretty much, I think we're probably the only designer that we have customized lining in about 99% of our bags because even the major designers now, they're using the standard lining and none of them put a coating on the leather and lining like we do.
Sure. Well, I think what it is, Ramin, is that every brand that's developing worldwide, a lot of these brands have been around for a very, very long time. And what they've done is that they've been able to create a name. And people are really buying a brand. They're not really looking for the quality or they're not looking for the workmanship, but they're really just buying a brand. With FERI Designer Lines, we're just sort of getting out of the gates, almost 10 years old. And we really customize a lot of aspects of our product line. So whether it's the hardware,
details matter.
Absolutely.
Details matter.
Absolutely. And so whether that's the lining or whether it's the coating that we're using on our leather, of course, we have customers from all across that we're basically shipping into over 90 countries. So coating is really important. Stitching is really important. Lining is really important. The customization, that touch and feel of having that luxury FERI good in your hand is just a unique touch and unique feature.
So again, why would we go above? Because again, this luxury designer, we happen to be in a country with extreme weather. So we're thinking about things that the European designers don't think about, which is, you're putting your leather back in minus 30 tonight, minus 30 degrees tonight, and any other leather will crack and it just be ruined. If you take any other designer and get it wet on the rain or so forth, it's going to be ruined. And now we don't want you to test it, but we've had many testimonies. People say, hey, look, I made a mistake. I had a bottle of water that opened up in my purse, and yet I thought it was ruined. Yet it wasn't. It protected the lining as well as the outside from the rain.
Absolutely, we've had some phenomenal stories. But as amazing our products are, and the special platings that we use, and the coatings, and everything that we're using, I think maintenance and caring of your product is also very important as well. But absolutely, we do our part to create the best of the best of the best, whether it's the plating or lining or hardware or raw materials, to be able to give you exclusive products for FERI or Posh or FERI Mosh, whatever the product is, but that's the Global Wealth Trade motto, is using the best materials.
Well, of course, this R&D is extremely expensive. This material is extremely expensive, but when this is how you go from inception to be a benchmark in so many different areas because of that mindset. So you want to know why we're where we are here after 10 years? Well, because we don't think like anyone else. For us, it's about if it exists, make it better. If it doesn't exist, create it.
Thank you so much, Ramin, for your time. Sanaz Human here with our very, very special guest, our CEO and founder, Mr. Ramin Mesgarlou.
To the billion.
To the billion.